EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. The atmosphere here, electric. No matter the venue, the home folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Los Angeles Chargers. And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Now a give right side. It's Wallace, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This fielded right at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Running on first down is Mostert, but he can only manage a yard, and that's about it before he's tackled. On 2nd and 9, Herbert, deep ball for Goodwin. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. He'll get this to Eckler. And some space here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Mostert. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll run with Mostert. And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have taken the lead. extra point by Badgley up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. From the gun, Cody. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw to the sideline, and he's got it. They say the feet are down. Yes, the line judge says they're in. That'll be a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Cody. Finding some room at midfield. And some room to roam now. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time? Here's a diving catch right side. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
You have to ask the question, what was the help? Because it's a little surprising to me that he'd find that much room to run this close to the end zone. He doesn't quite get there, but he sets his guys up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And they'll run again. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Off the play fake. Cody. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And once again, the Raiders are back out in front. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. Kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Charger drive about to get going. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
Looking to throw again on second down. Herbert firing quickly here, and that's complete. On first down, it's Herbert. Deep ball for Goodwin. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, L.A. Marquise Goodwin hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have once again taken the lead. Extra point by Badgley up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Cody toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Looking to throw. Cody. He's able to find Wallace. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
He finds his man, complete. It's Pierce. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Back to throw. Cody. And he will find his man Ruggs. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. I know I'm an old defender, but I've got to give credit where credit's due. That was smart play calling right there on 3rd and 4. They didn't need to do too much. Just let their guy get out there and sit down in the zone, and they hit him for the completion for the first down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season as his guys are able to regain the lead. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it's now 17-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. On 1st and 10, Herbert. Flush to his right. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to throw here, Herbert. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tyree Gillespie. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. They'll keep it on the ground again here. First down and a little extra for Mostert. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Fielded right around the 8th. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On third down, Cody. This is intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
On second down, Mostert. And he'll get this down only to the 18. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Raider D, they get the football back. They'll run on first down. Wallace. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll try and throw for it here. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. Both sides were holding their breath there on that fourth down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know their defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Looking to throw. Cody, he's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete on the deep ball. You know, you're following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under. CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. From the gun, Cody, he's going to float this one deep right side. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the 50, here's Herbert. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now left side on the swing pass. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen. So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. 4th down for Herbert. Desperation time. Deep ball for Goodwin. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. Got to be careful here. Backed up this deep on 3rd down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Keon Crossan. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Badgley on for the extra point. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Charles, you said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
Well, these two teams faced off earlier in the year, right around mid-season, back in Week 9. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
Behind the chains, 2nd and 13.
Now it looks like he'll throw here.
Got an open man. It's Ruggs.
And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing it.
Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cody, he's going to float this one deep right side. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
On 2nd down now, it's Jacobs. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Off play action. Cody, they'll roll him out right. And he's got it. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. Gonzalez now to have the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This taken in at the goal line.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
The Charger drive about to get going. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Herbert. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And he'll get a first down here, but only to the 20-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Herbert going to throw. He's got Eckler. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Throwing, Herbert. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check